I'm going to give you a quick one-on-one on how we monitor for resistance to Bt and Helicobacter for the cotton industry. We collaborate with consultants throughout the industry that collect eggs for us, as well as our own group collecting eggs locally. And we ask that they're collected off of any host of Helicobacter, whether it be sorghum or cotton or pigeon pea or anything really.
Oh, ow! Oh, that was a bit rough. Right, once I've hatched, I'm putting in a complaint to management.
We then pick the eggs up and put them individually on some artificial diet, which Helicobacter love, and we then rear them through until they get to a certain size.
Hey, lifetime's worth of free food, nice cosy temperatures, oh, and freedom from those nasty natural enemies and horrid diseases. I reckon I could get used to living in this resort.
When they get to a third instar, we can distinguish between Helicobacter armigera and Helicobacter punctigera, and that means that we can rear them through in their species group per valley per host. And when they become pupae, we can actually tell the difference between males and females. I just need to give you a bit of background information on how the genetics works to Bt resistance to explain how we screen for it. The most important thing to understand is that insects that carry a single resistance gene for Bt toxins are actually killed by the toxin, and that they have to have 2 copies of the resistance gene in order to be able to survive a dose of the toxin. Obviously, insects that have 2 copies of the susceptible are killed by the toxin. We mate together the field insect with a lab insect which we know has 2 copies of the resistance gene. The field insect is susceptible, so it doesn't carry any resistance genes. So what happens is that the resistant gene and the susceptible genes come together in the offspring. So we make them together in these little containers.
Arranged marriages? Good thing he's easy on the eyes.
And then we get their offspring. We put them onto some diet that contains the toxin and other bits of diet that don't contain toxin. And if the insects are susceptible and they produce individuals that have just a single resistance gene, then they're all going to be killed.
Uh-oh, that doesn't look good.
And you can see that the insect that we collected from the field must have been susceptible because all of its offspring are killed. It's only the insects on no toxin that have survived. The second situation is that the insect that we collect from the field does actually carry a resistance gene. The resistance gene from the field insect and from the lab insect can come together and form insects that have 2 copies that can actually survive a dose of the toxin. In that situation, about half of the insects survive on the half of the tray that has the discriminating dose of the Bt toxin.
Oh wow, that's my kids there. We will survive. We will survive. As long as I've good genes, I know my kids will stay alive. With the best genes of the bunch. Oh, the cotton we could munch. We will survive. We will survive.
We work with some colleagues in Canberra that are trying to identify the actual gene that codes for resistance, and we hope that one day in the very near future we will have a molecular test to make screening for resistance all the more efficient so that we can give even more information back to the industry about how well the resistance management plan for Bt cotton is working.